Good afternoon. I acknowledge we are gathered on the traditional territory of the signatories of Treaty 6, and I acknowledge the Métis people who share a deep connection with this land. I'm Taneen Rudyk, NDP candidate for Fort Saskatchewan-Vegreville. I'm also joined by our candidate for Strathcona Sherwood Park, Bill Tonita. As well, I'm thrilled to be joined today by Roxanne Carr, former mayor of Strathcona County and former chair of the Capital Region Growth Plan Update Task Force. We're here today to share our plan to support the Industrial Heartland, support the local economy, attract investment, and create good-paying jobs. For generations, our energy sector has generated prosperity for Albertans. It's created good jobs across the province and right here in the Industrial Heartland. We've seen massive industrial projects built in the area that power our economy. But recently, capital investment in the province has stalled and wages have stagnated. In fact, capital investment growth in Alberta lags behind provinces like BC, Ontario, and Quebec. And Alberta has the slowest wage growth in the country. If we want to be leaders in these categories once again, we must build on our strengths and look to the future, and I am confident that we can do this. It begins with our plan to supercharge the Alberta Petrochemical Incentive Program. This program was introduced previously under the NDP government and later modified by the UCP. It's been a highly successful program that supported the new Inter-Pipeline Heartland Complex, which is now operational. This project generated $4.5 billion in investment into the area and created hundreds of jobs. Since then, we've seen the industry continue to evolve and expand, and we're seeing new technologies and a desire to reduce emissions. We need to recognize where markets are heading and adapt so we can remain competitive, attract investment, and continue to create good-paying jobs. An Alberta NDP government will grow the program by 30%, or about $70 million, to expand eligible feedstocks and final products and bring partial uprating back into the program. This builds on our traditional oil and gas sector to find new ventures, new products, and new markets, but we won't stop there. We will continue to be forward-looking, and we will be ahead of the curve when it comes to global markets. For more on that, I'll turn it over to Bill.
Thank you, Taneen. Well, as Tonita has mentioned, the Industrial Heartland has generated good-paying jobs and a tremendous amount of economic activity in this area. But competition for investment with other jurisdictions is growing. If we don't step up like the US, we will lose billions of dollars of investment down south. Alberta can and must compete. And so the second piece of our plan is to establish Alberta's future tax credit. This is a refundable tax credit of 20% that targets large capital projects in emerging industrial sectors like critical mineral processing, alternative fuels, and advanced manufacturing. But even more important than that, it's about workers and their wages. And that's why we will boost this tax credit by another 10% for investments that generate key outcomes like high-skilled job creation or new technological capabilities and innovations. Together, these policies are expected to attract $20 billion in private sector investment and create 47,000 jobs, many of them right here in Alberta's Industrial Heartland. But we know that in order to support and facilitate this investment, we need the proper infrastructure in place. And that's why an Alberta NDP government will also build the interchange at Highway 15 and 830, and we will replace the Vinca Bridge. This interchange will help end long delays to traffic flow in the area, and it means no more waiting for long trains moving in and out of the Heartland. And the Vinca Bridge was not designed to carry the heavy oversized loads that now travel on Alberta's highways. The replacement bridge will establish a critical link in Alberta's high load corridor. It will save time and money for those traveling in the area. And it will support heavy loads from the Edmonton area to the Industrial Heartland. And we will stop playing some games with this project. As you know, the UCP paused it only to re-announce this project on the eve of the election. Our commitment as an Alberta government will be to get it built. And lastly, we will provide a skilled workforce to build these projects in the Heartland. We have committed to building the NATE Advanced Skills Center that will deliver programming that is necessary to train a highly skilled workforce as part of Alberta's future economic prosperity. We know there is a skilled trades shortage in this province. So we will build up our workforce we will build up the workforce of the future by using state-of-the-art training matched to emerging economic opportunities to train workers from diverse backgrounds and experience. Taken together, all of these policies will build a better economic future for our province. An Alberta NDP government will support the Industrial Heartland, support the local economy, attract investment, and create good-paying jobs. And now, I'd like to invite Roxanne to say a few words.
Thank you very much, Bill. As mayor of Strathcona County, I was honored to serve on the Capital Region Board. I was the chair of the Alberta Capital Region Growth Plan. And as municipal leaders, we grew to have a greater understanding, a greater insight and appreciation for what the Alberta Industrial Heartland really is. It is the growth engine of our province. But as the energy sector changes, we need to help it continue to evolve. We need to build on the resources of the Alberta's industrial heartland. We need to protect those jobs that are already there, and we need to create more jobs. This election is about the economic development of Alberta. I have looked at the platforms of both parties. I've looked at their leaders, their policies, their track records of the leaders, and I have looked at the actions. The more I look at the options, the clearer it becomes. The NDP have produced a plan that will build the future for Albertans. We have seen new projects in the industrial heartland in recent years, including hydrogen and net zero petrochemical programs. These will be supported by the NDP going forward. And if we want to see more investment and more good paying jobs in the area, we need to be competitive, and we need a forward-looking government that can lead our province and our economy into the future. The NDP has a plan to attract greater investment and create good-paying jobs in the industrial heartland by expanding the Alberta program for the petrochemical incentive. The NDP has a plan to attract investment and create good-paying jobs in our region, in the industrial heartland, by expanding Alberta Petrochemical Incentive Program, by creating the Alberta's Tax Credit Program, and by creating better and much-needed infrastructure in this region. All of this will result in the competitiveness. All of this will increase. I'm going to start again. The NDP plan is going to increase our competitiveness and attract investment into the large-scale industrial projects that we need in this region. And as we approach Election Day in Alberta, it has become abundantly clear that this election is about trust. This election is about leadership. And this election is about who can build our economy into the future, who can meet the challenges. I believe in Rachel Notley. She has assembled an amazing team, including Bill and Taneen, and together they can move us forward into the future in a positive manner. I support Rachel Notley.
Perfect. So we'll now turn it over to questions. We'll start with questions in person.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Roxanne. If you have any questions, we're happy to take them this morning or this afternoon.
And just a reminder for the people on Zoom to use the raise hand function or *9. Seeing none, that concludes today's press conference. Thank you very much.
Thank you.